Next on the news, soon bells will be ringing across Brooklyn and Queens for the first day of school. But while students are getting ready with pencils and notebooks, educators are preparing in a different way.
64 principals starting the year with faith and fellowship. I'm Jessica Easthope. That story's coming up next. The Olympics may be over, but the Holy Games have just begun. We speak with the only U.S. priest to serve the star athletes. Plus, this dyed fabric is thousands of years old, and it's giving some new insight into the Old Testament. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. Educators across Brooklyn and Queens uniting together in song and for a common goal to teach kids with faith at the forefront. With a little more than a week to go before the first day of class, final preparations are underway at Diocese of Brooklyn schools, decorating classrooms, having the necessary supplies, and praying for a successful school year. Dozens of principals gathered with Brooklyn Bishop Robert Brennan at the Immaculate Conception Center in Douglaston to do just that. Currents News' Jessica Easthope has the story.
Give in my love with all your heart.
It's a day designed to welcome principals back, but Brooklyn's Bishop Robert Brennan knows many never left.
They started this school year on June 30th, but once we're into September, I'm all in, and there's this newness and an excitement that we all feel, I think.
Bishop Brennan celebrated Mass for more than 60 principals of Catholic academies and schools across Brooklyn and Queens Tuesday at the Immaculate Conception Center in Douglaston. Their work, he says, is invaluable in the lives of the children they educate.
Our elementary schools, our academies, they lay basic foundations. It's true in the education world, but it's also very true in the spiritual world.
Faith-based education allows students to grow in a community. It also allows their educators to do the same. Debbie Hanna, principal of St. Andrew Avellino Catholic Academy in Flushing, says this day is a much-needed reset.
Today is probably one of my favorite days. I have a lot of good things going on in my school, and then I have a lot of challenges. Just to sit there and know that I'm not alone. I'm not alone makes the day a great day.
With the closure of Salve Regina Catholic Academy at the end of last school year, Andy Estevez, principal of Blessed Sacrament Catholic Academy in Cypress Hills, has 90 new students.
We're here in this particular point, in this particular place, called by God to minister to his people, which are our children and our families, and to ourselves too, in our communities.
As one school looks to accommodate an influx, another is praying for one.
I want people to know what great things are done in Catholic schools. It's not free, but it's worth the buck.
Superintendent of Diocese of Brooklyn Schools, Deacon Kevin McCormick, says his principals are focused on providing the best education, but also on what matters most.
Most important thing that we do is celebrate the gospel and bring it to our kids. But we have to nourish ourselves. Our principals did not rest. They're out there, they're hustling, but now it's a good time.
School starts on September 4th. In Douglaston, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
If you want to send your children to Catholic school this year, there's still time. Just visit CatholicSchoolsBQ.org or call 718-965-7380 for more information. Currents News is also helping kids get ready for back to school. We're airing a special program highlighting what makes Catholic academies across the Diocese of Brooklyn so great. From their commitment to educating every child, no matter where they are, to their dedication to forming their students' body, mind, and soul. We'll be showing it all this Friday, August 30th at our normal time, 7 p.m. Be sure to tune in as we say goodbye to summer and hello to this exciting school year. The tablet is also gearing up for back to school. The paper collaborated with Catholic academies and the Diocese of Brooklyn Superintendent's Office to make a special supplement with everything parents and students need to know. If you want a copy, just head to the paper's website, thetablet.org. You'll find it right there on the homepage. Also tonight, the Olympics may be over, but some prayerful players are still going toe-to-toe. They're taking to the field with faith as the Holy Games continue. The initiative was started by the French Bishops' Conference and the Archdiocese of Paris to accompany athletes and visitors to the Games with prayer. The Holy Games is entering a new phase, the Paralympics. Joining us now to talk more about it is the only U.S. priest to serve at the Holy Games, Father Joseph Fitzgerald, who also happens to be a 1996 Olympian who was on the U.S. national handball team. Hi, Father.
Hey, Christine, how are you?
I'm good. So, Father, we spoke with you before you left. Now you're back home in New York after serving the first part of the Holy Games. While we know this wasn't your first time to the Olympics, it was your first time as a priest. So what was it like serving the faithful there?
It was an incredible experience. I got there a little bit before the actual opening ceremony, so had a few days about a week or so to acclimate. I was able to walk around Paris and to see some of the beautiful churches and just get in preparation for not just the games, but also those opportunities that we had as you were displaying with the Holy Games, just prayerful experiences, the praying over the athletes, and then trying to create those sites where they could come. Obviously, they weren't in the Olympic Village or in the stadiums all the time, so we were trying to prepare those sites and the places to have liturgy. It was great. It was an awesome experience.
You were on Bishop Brennan's podcast last week and mentioned how secular Paris is. Let's take a listen.
There was a hesitation from mostly the French bishops and priests and chaplains that were there because it's so secularized. And I looked up the laws in France, and it's actually concerning because it literally said you couldn't have excessively large crosses. You couldn't have headwear, whether that be for a religious nun or for a Muslim.
Wow. And the 2028 Olympics are in another secular city, Los Angeles. So what are some things that are on your radar that we should prepare for when evangelizing there?
I do think that the pendulum has swung pretty far in France, and that the cooperation here in the United States will be very different. I would say the over-secularization and the culture that was present in Paris and in France, there really was a hesitation from whether it be the lay faithful, the priests, or even the bishops, because and that language was there, like excessively large crosses, some of the headwear that would be concerning for the secular France because they didn't want to kind of overdo it, I guess. At the same time, I think the excitement of the Olympics, not that it lowered the guard a little bit, but it allowed us to be a little bit more bolder. And so there were a few other missionaries there, actually, and there was a wonderful support from all of the different faiths, whether it be Hindu or Muslim or Jewish, and even the Protestant chaplains were great, and just trying to really evangelize and get the word out. So there was a sensitivity, particularly with, I think, the priests and the bishops there, but then also an openness to be a little bit bold and to move forward. I don't think that we have that same concern here in the United States. I mean, as of right now, I don't foresee the laws changing tremendously. There might be a hesitation from, let's say, for example, the Olympic Committee, the Los Angeles 2028, to be overly religious. But I don't know if you watched, but like the opening ceremonies were a little bit wacky, and then by the end you have Novak Djokovic kneeling down at midcourt making the sign of the cross. It was interesting that they would say the home people or the host couldn't do it, but any visitors were okay to kind of showcase their faith.
Absolutely, and we look forward to a Holy Games possibly at LA. Father Joseph Fitzgerald, the pastor at St. William the Abbot in Seaford, Long Island, thanks for being here with us.
Thanks so much, and God bless. Thanks for all the great work that you do evangelizing.
Thank you. And finally tonight, a fascinating discovery in 2016 has led to more insight into the Old Testament. A piece of dyed wool fiber from 3,800 years ago was found in the Cave of Skulls in Jordan. In Jewish tradition, scarlet was one of the most valuable colors and was used in priestly vestments and to cover the tabernacle of the Jewish temple. The dye was one of the most expensive, and it's mentioned up to 25 times in the Old Testament. Wow. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.